Greetings, I'm Professor K, and in this short video presentation, we're going to take a look at how we go about downloading ISO images from the internet. So it makes no difference if we're talking about Microsoft or we're talking about Linux. Whatever operating system you're going to download from the internet, it's probably going to be in the shape of an ISO image or an OVA file. So let's say that you need an ISO image for Server 2016 or Server 2019. Easiest way to do that, just go to Google, type in download Microsoft Server ISO images. It's going to give you some links for those ISO images that are going to be located on the Microsoft Evaluation Center. Now you just open up the Evaluation Center. Now you might have to fill out some information to get the actual link. But when you're taken to the Evaluation Center, you're going to have a choice of downloading in one of three different formats. You want the ISO image if you're building a virtual lab at home. So here I have the radio button checked for ISO image. Now when I click on continue, this is where it's going to ask me for some personal information. Makes no difference what you put in these boxes. They're not going to send you an email to validate. They're just going to take your information and then send you over to the next jump in the URL. From there, you can download the ISO image. So I'm just going to type in some information here. And I'll do a little bit better than that. Now when I click on continue, tell me to fill out some more fields here. Numbers here. Some information that they want, and I'll say continue. Then I have to select the language, and now I can download. Now this is going to be a large download, so my recommendation is that if you're going to download something this large, you only want to do it once. You're not going to want to have to keep going back and forth because your download got stopped or you lost your internet connection. Now to do that, I use something called the Free Download Manager. This is the Free Download Manager. Open this up here. I already have it installed. I'll go ahead and launch it. This is what it looks like. So I can start a new download just by clicking on this plus sign here. And I can enter the URL, or I can choose to use a torrent file. So once you have your Free Download Manager up, just go back to the Download Center. You're going to right click on the link and you're going to say copy link. Go back to your download manager, and where it says enter the URL, just place your mouse in there and do a Control V. Now you can go ahead and say OK. And then this will take over and manage to download. Now you can select a location where you would like your downloads saved. This is a large download. I recommend placing them on an external server or to a partition that you have set aside for these large ISO files. So I'm going to change this location over to my D drive. I'll say OK, and now I'll begin the download. Now you can watch the time, and you'll also notice that the time that it takes to download a large ISO file using the Free Download Manager is a lot shorter than doing a direct download using your browser. So regardless if it's going to be Server 2012, Server 2016, or Server 2019, they're all three going to be ISO files, and they're all going to be available to you from the Microsoft Evaluation Center. All you have to do is just type in the correct version of that server inside of Google, and you'll be taken to the correct download site. When it comes to Windows 10, you're going to have a hard time finding a legal copy of Windows 10 to download. They are out there. Microsoft does make them available, but it is a trick to be able to find that download site. And they change it all the time. I do everything I can to provide the download site, but it's not easy. Now, one tool that I like to use is the Windows ISO Downloader. That is a tool that is free, and it's from the heydoc.net site that you see up here. This is the IP address or the URL. And so HeyDoc.net provides this tool, and it provides you an avenue so that you can go get a number of different ISO images from the Microsoft site. So you just click on it, and it's a self-running executable. I'll go ahead and launch my version of it now. Give it a second to upload. It just takes a second. Now, I'm not sure whether or not you have to have, or you can use a VPN with this. Apparently, there's a problem with authenticating with the VPN. I'm going to go ahead and choose Windows 10 here, and we're going to run through it and see if it'll work. It takes a little while for it to pull up the Windows 10 information, but give it a second and it will up here. All right, still downloading. It's still bringing in the information. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just grab me a copy of Windows 10 Home Pro here. We'll see if it works. I'll confirm. Now it wants me to choose a language. I'll choose English, United States. Confirm that. Let's see what happens. There is the download. All right, so you can download it either as a 64-bit or you can download it as a 32-bit. And I do have my VPN off. All right, so this is another way that you can download a copy of the ISO image for Windows 10. If you want to search for a download for Windows 10 from the Microsoft site, you're going to have to include the word evaluation. And if you want to try and find a virtual machine, then you're going to have to include the word developer. So it would be Windows 10 virtual machine developer or Windows 10 download evaluation. And that should help you find what it is you're looking for. Now, none of the evaluation centers offer what we're looking for here, which is a OVA file for VirtualBox. That's not going to happen. So you can see that we're not going to get anything from the Microsoft download site without really working hard for it. So you see up here inside of my Google, I've typed in Windows 10 Virtual Machine Download, and you can include developer, but these links are present, but they don't work. They don't have any downloads for an OVA file for Windows 10 any longer. And if you're looking for the download site, you're going to have to check the dates on some of these postings here. This is February 23, and that's not been that long. But if I click on this link, you'll see that it's not going to allow me to have it. If I go out here and I click, oh, this here is the one way to get it. This is using the Windows 10 Media Creation tool. Okay. But for that, you're going to have to, I believe, have a license key for Microsoft. Perhaps, I'm not sure. All right, so there you go. And that's what you're going to have to do to get a copy of Windows 10. And so when it comes to open source or Linux, the downloading process or the process of getting an OVA or a download of that Linux distribution that you're looking for is not nearly as difficult. But here's the trick. You got to make sure you get to the right download site for your particular instance of Linux. And in this case, we're talking about Kali Linux. So there's only one place you can go now to get it, and that is www.kali.org. And you click on the site, like so, and you're going to go to the icon for virtual machines. It's going to take you on down here, and you get a choice between 64-bit and 32-bit. I'm going to go with the 64-bit for VirtualBox, and you can download it as a straight download using this download option, or you can download it as a torrent. Now, if you download it as a torrent, you got to have a torrent client, and that would be the free download manager that does work with it. But it's important that you understand that this is 2.7 gigs, and that's just enough of the operating system to get you going. The actual full install is much larger. Okay, so you've got your one option here, you got your second option here using a torrent. So that's how you're going to get Kali Linux. So in this short video presentation, you got to see how easy it is to get legit ISO images and OVA files from the actual distributors of those operating systems such as Microsoft and Kali Linux. Got any questions? You got any concerns? Please don't hesitate to reach out, contact your instructor, and I'll see you in my next video.